It's all good and well me showing you all of these ways on how to sell beats, you know, sending DMs, sending emails. All of them are useless if you don't know how to make good beats. I've done it. If you guys haven't heard of this plugin and you have some spare money, honestly, invest in this plugin. This Django Gypsy Jazz acoustic guitar, it is insane. It is so good. It's $149, and you need to have the full version of Contact to have it. If you have Contact, or if you have the money to get Contact and you're just holding off and you don't know what libraries to get, make this the first library that you get. It's ridiculous. I even think it's better than the Ample guitars, which is saying a lot. Today is going to be more beat related, and I wanted to dive into how to make beats that sell. It's all good and well me showing you all of these ways on how to sell beats, you know, sending DMs, sending emails. All of them are useless if you don't know how to make good beats. Fire beats. So, and the best part about it is that I don't know music theory, so for those of you watching that don't know music theory, this is going to be super useful for you. But yeah man, let's just dive into it. I've got one loop that I've put together. I'm going to show you how I put that melody together, and then I'm going to build on top of it with some counter melodies and whatnot, add the drums, and just kind of talk you through the process that hopefully you guys can duplicate and start getting results for yourself. Alright, let's get into this. Now this is just a chord progression I've put together. I'm going to go in, explain exactly how I put this together, how you can do the same thing and do it to fit any style, to fit the style that you normally go for. So this is the chord progression that I put together using that Django guitar. Sounds ridiculous, right? I added a few effects to it. I added halftime, the RC20, you know the standard stuff. To get this kind of sound, you're going to need a plugin called Scaler. If you don't know any music theory, trust me, it is going to be well worth the investment. It's like $50 or something like that. I'll put the link down in the description if you want to take a look at all the details. But Scaler is basically a huge bank of chord progressions, different styles. It can detect MIDI. It can do a lot of stuff. But the one thing that I use it for is to come up with chord progressions and just get like that initial feel for the beat. So yeah, pull up Scaler, and then you just want to link Scaler to the instrument that you want to play the melody with. So come to Scaler, come to this little settings tab right here, change the output port to 0. And then come to the instrument you want to play it with, same tab, and then put the input port to 0 as well. Just match the numbers up basically. And then whenever you play something in Scaler, so let me just click on a chord, it plays with the instrument that you've decided to play with, okay? But once you've got that linked up, it's totally down to you then. Put in chords that sound good to you. Like, there isn't really a lot you need to know about it. Find the style that you like to make. So if you're making like Rod Wave type beats, you'd come to this drop down menu right here and go on to R&B. Go with any of these banks and just kind of experiment with it and just find something that you vibe with. The two banks that I use the most are R&B and Latin, and I also use the World Bank sometimes. And once you've got that in, and let's say you wanted to make like realistic sounding melodies, I'm assuming the majority of you want to make realistic sounding melodies because, you know, they just sound better. So you want to come to this Perform tab up here, turn it on. For chords, normally I go with strumming. I don't really do anything else because the expressions in the arpeggio is more for like main melody type stuff. I normally leave it on alternate, and then I leave it on slower, depending on the tempo, but you know, just experiment with it. But yeah, once you got all your settings in, then you just go ahead and start playing stuff and just find something that sounds dope to you. So with this Latin bank, I liked this chord progression right here, this F minor 9, G sharp, D sharp. I just thought that sounded fire. Once you're happy with it, left click and hold on this drag tool right here, and then just drag it into the MIDI of the instrument. So I dragged and dropped it. It looked like this to begin with. It was quite short, so all I did was just stretch them all out. And then here's where you can be creative. This is where like you can make it sound unique to yourself. So you just want to break up some of the notes. Like I've added like a chop here. Sounds really good with this guitar. You know, some little triplets down here for the bass notes. And yeah, that's all I did to it. So after putting it all together, it sounds pretty fire. So yeah, that's the basis that I'm going to go for. Now, one thing to keep in mind, one key thing to keep in mind is that when you have a chord progression that you're happy with, you want to make sure that all the keys sit within a certain range. So if you take a look at mine right here, they all kind of sit within like a box. What you don't want to have is like this chord way up here, you know, like another chord way down here. Like that's just not going to sound nice. It doesn't sound natural because you're jumping up octaves and it doesn't sound good. So what I'm going to do now is add some extra melodies, top melodies, layers. I'm going to shut up and do it so I can concentrate and make it actually sound good. But whilst I'm putting them in, just pay attention to how little I put in of each sound in order to get like a real nice, you know, full sounding melody. Alright, I'm happy with that. That's a loop that I'm happy with. So this is everything together. There's a lot going on there, but whilst the beat's playing, I'm not going to have all those sounds playing at the same time. Now let me explain like the whole thought process behind this, okay? You want to have space, you want to leave space for the artist to do their thing onto it. So always have that in mind. And the easiest way to achieve that is to add a few different sounds and just go in and add little hits, little pieces of ear candy with each sound. I've just added in this bass right here. Add this little flute phrases with Contact. Some little vocals with Arcade. But look how simple all the midis are. Like super simple midis. Just another sound with Expand, just a little hit. You know, just a little. And lastly, I just put some kind of atmospheric sound in. But you don't have to copy this blueprint. You can just go in, be creative with it, but just have the same thought process of, I want to leave as much space, but I want to have like lots of things coming in and out of this beat. So yeah, all that's left to do is to turn this loop into a song that has good variation. And the easiest way to do that is to turn it into a full song before adding the drums. So once I'm done with the melody, I'll just come in, split them by track. I'm going to separate them like this. And then I'm just going to duplicate them until we've got 2-3 minutes worth of a beat. Yeah, 2 minutes 50, that's a good length for a beat. I'm just gonna go in, I'm gonna play the beat, and I'm just gonna take sounds in and out as I go through them. It doesn't have to be too complicated. Alright, I am happy with that, okay? Quick intro, just the main instrument by itself. Maybe I added this little like supplementary sound. So right here, that's going to be like the fullest part of the melody. Drop everything out again, just have some different variation in there. Bring something else in. So it's just that kind of flow of like bringing something different in, taking it back out, bringing it in, taking it out. That's all you've got to do with it really. But the best thing is just to do it by ear and be creative with it. Alright, so I got my loop right here. We're just going to add some drums. And the thing is, you're just going to follow the same train of thought with the melody and apply that to the drums. Again, you want to have that simplicity in mind. Get your main sounds in, your 808, clap, snare, hi-hat, and make things super simple. So I'm going to add this 808. This is my go-to 808. This is in the Artemis kit. Shameless plug if you want to get the Artemis kit. I'd highly recommend it. It's a good kit. I'm in A. I'm going to go E, I think. I'm in E. Yeah, cool. Got my 808. I'm just going to add a quick hi-hat. I'll use this for a while. I'm going to EQ the top end out though, because we all know that those top end hi-hats ain't in no more. Okay. Now I don't want to have this hi-hat as a standard 2-pan because it's quite an up-tempo beat and that guitar melody is fire, so I don't want to have the hi-hats like sitting on top of it too much. Same again. Right. Okay, so I've got that kind of bouncy hi-hat. Now I'm going to add some little chops, some little high notes, some low notes, just to give it, something a bit different, but I'm making them very, very subtle. These chops are going to be super subtle, so I might just add like a little triplet down here. Okay, cool, super simple. Like, I really don't want to be going super crazy with these chops because again, we just want to leave space. You got to always think about leaving space. So I'm going to add a clap in or like a rim shot, something like that. Saint Gunner from the Artemis kit. Now I'm just going to add some more bounce to the 808. Oh! Bro, that is super hard. So like, literally look what I've done right here. How many keys do we see? Like, not many. You just want to have that breathing kind of motion with the 808. You don't want to have it like hitting all the time. It makes the 808 sound harder because it's not hitting as many times, because I guess your ears kind of get used to it hitting. If you don't have it playing all the time, then when it does hit, it's going to sound like super hard. So yeah, that's what I like to do. So this is what it sounds like. So as you can hear already, it already sounds like basically a full beat. Now you can go in and add like other little bits of ear candy, but trust me, don't go too over the top with it. Like if you can already hear someone rap on this, stop there. If you keep adding more sounds to it, you're filling all the pockets that the rapper was going to fill, which means they're not going to be inspired to do anything with that beat. Now one last thing that you want to do with this beat is add a bit of variation to the drums. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing that we did before. and we're just going to play the beat through. I've got the drums looping throughout this whole beat, as you can see right here. I'm just going to play the beat and go through, and then whenever I feel like the loop needs to be different, the drum loop, I'm just going to make that pattern unique right there, and I'm going to take something out. I'm just going to subtract something from it to give it even more space. So I'd have nothing playing at the beginning. So I don't want the 808 coming in right here. That's too much too soon. So I'm going to make it unique. I'm going to take out the 808, and I'm also going to take out the hi-hats. Okay, I'm going to add a little break cut right here. There you go. Like I'm going to add like a little cut right here, just to add a bit more space. Okay, now I'm going to make this one unique, and I'm going to make the 808 even more spaced out, more simple. So I'm just going to literally add one hit right here at the beginning. First verse. Back to the original drum loop, and I think that's a nice progression. Just let the melody ride, just let it play out, and that's it. I'm going to repeat that right here. And then we're back in it, and we're just going to have that same thing play over again. So yeah, man, I know that's been a lot of information all in one video, but the train of thought is very simple. First off, definitely jump on Scalar. Like, that's a super easy way and a quick way to get those quick catchy melodies. Once you have that inspiration, add a little top melody, add some little pieces of ear candy for the melody, bounce it out, super simple drums, and then take things out, add things here and there to kind of give it more variation and just give it more direction. So yeah, that is it. But yeah, if you have any questions about this, shoot them down in the comments. I do my best to respond to everybody. Drop them down below. If you have any extra gems, drop them down, obviously, let the community know. But yeah, give that a crack. Good luck with it, and make some hot beats.